Hey, TJ. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Munson Steed, and we are broadcasting live this evening. Pre election coverage. Tonight, I have with me Eddie Lamar Precise, our city manager from Chicago. What's going on, Eddie?
What's going on, Mr. Steed? I'm here. Looking forward to tomorrow. Actually, I can't wait for it to be over so we can get back to some type of normalcy on some level.
Well, it hadn't been normal for about 4 years there, Eddie. I
I
think
agree.
people watched a show. They turned our entire country into a bad reality TV. It's like hunting for ducks, or ducks hunting, whatever that show was. It's just gotten very slick and hick at the same time, which is a bad combination.
That's a horrible combination. I watched a video the other day where Trump supporters were literally chasing the Biden campaign bus out of Texas. Uh, that's a dangerous space we're in right now where something like that could even happen. You imagine that even with the amount of Trump supporters that there are, that there really is nobody to protect them. So we need to kind of get out of that space.
But, I'm not going to worry about things that we cannot control like that. I want our brothers and sisters, those who are waiting till the last day to really go stand at the polls. I'm very proud of our community. This is a special moment. We need to treat it as such. We can't worry about distractions at this moment. We need to be very focused on the fact that our community has a phenomenal leader on the ticket in Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris, Howard graduate, a true qualified African American black sister who is there for our community and is providing insight and intelligence and representing us well. This is a big moment for our entire community.
I definitely agree with that. And I hope the people who are still on the fence thinking about voting actually understand that this country runs a specific way and it's through government and it's through politics. So right now is the time to exercise that right, exercise your vote, take responsibility and affect change in your community. If you do not do that, what you're showing is irresponsibility. There are literally lives at stake right now, and this is not extreme what I'm saying. There are literally lives at stake right now. So your voice, your one vote, can definitely tip the scales and bring us back to where we need to be in this country.
Yeah, well said, Eddie. Not sure that we'll ever go back. I think it's all about forward movement. We don't want to go
Agreed.
back to the past. I mean, I think that we are in our own movement. It's a dual movement. The uprising, the reduction of white privilege in this country, finally speaking to it. So I think there have been several united fronts that we are meeting this election on, but we also have to be very, very conscious as a community that our movement will live on after this election. No matter who's in the White House, we still have the demands that we're going to be making as it relates to living and having our own liberties that are written in the Constitution, addressing those issues that are in the voting rights and the 13th Amendment clearly, so that these things, and hopefully statehood and reparation. So the agenda for our community must include these things. Our entire community must recognize that us organizing as for this election must continue after this election.
Yes,
Eddie?
I think the organization piece is very important, specifically on the local levels. This is an election, and a presidential election is the only one that's going on right now. Take some time and get informed on. I know here in Illinois, we have a Senate race going on, and there's also a lot of judges that are being put into place. So take a moment and get to know who you're voting for. Get to know what this fair tax means to us. Really become informed so that these decisions that you make similar to what Mustin just mentioned, can actually help us as we move into the future with a different focus and more empowerment.
It is true that the empowerment is important. I think if you haven't voted, you definitely want to go online, figure out exactly where you need to vote, who's on the ballot, study the ballot before you get there, and then watch out for intimidation. There is tons of intimidation going on. Do not allow strangers or people you don't know to walk up to you. Don't let them deflect their issues onto you and project their attitudes, asking questions. If you don't know these individuals, move on. Call the attention to those running polling places because there's tons of sabotage and provocateurs in the marketplace, and they are definitely pushing the agenda of you know keeping our community away from the polls.
I'm still very hopeful because Chicago has broken some record numbers with regards to the voting numbers. I mean, crushing numbers from years ago. So I'm really hopeful. But for those of you who have waited to the last minute, if you are hitting the polls tomorrow, expect to stand in line. So you know what? Bring a lawn chair with you, a cup of coffee, a nice scarf. Actually it'll probably be 50 degrees tomorrow. Maybe you can have a nice windbreaker on, but take a seat in line and cast that vote. That's what's really important right now.
Yeah, and our sisters, thank you so much. I mean, Tamika Mallory, Raspity, all these women are
Yes,
on the front line. Tamika Mallory are really making a real agenda. Melanie Campbell, all of these women are really pushing. Angela Rice, Angela Yee are all pushing the forward.
yes, agreed. And we need to continue to, as brothers, we need to continue to support them and move ourselves into a position where we're actually
Carmen
adding value
College,
to the thing.
welcome. Melinda Johnson. African American women are active. How are your peers active on the front line?
Yeah, everyone's ready for the big election. My sister is with Emily's list, so they've
Can't hear it,
been
TJ.
calling. They've been doing phone banking and all over the country. So
Can
they're
you hear
all
Etta?
ready.
Not at all.
Testing one, two, three.
Well, we know we got to work on that, folks. So we're working out our election day kinks as we work on our new platform. Happy to announce coming soon a new television
But
station for us. Hello,
can you hear? Can you hear me now?
how you doing? Not yet.
I'm great. No,
Can't hear us yet, huh?
can't hear. No.
Not yet. But we'll go back to a two shot. Good thing about technology, everybody, we're moving everything forward. We can see this in real time. What you think about that sister in Kansas City?
Oh, the young sister in Kansas City. I can't remember her name right now. I have a few feelings about that, but generally the audacity and the courage that she had to really speak truth to power to everybody in that room without any fear was amazing.
Did
Um,
you see the
right now,
video talking about the police is following her?
yeah, that's another thing. That's what I was going to bring up. I mean, whoever's in Kansas City, keep an eye on that sister. I wish I could remember her name right now. Hopefully, somebody can get us her name. But yeah, please protect that sister because she spoke up for us, as sisters always do, and we need to keep her covered.
Yeah, I think that it's another example of why I continue to share with our community that the movement and the struggle continues. Do not be dismayed. Do not agonize of only about voting. This election is important, but the fact that we're moving our community and we have an agenda. We want safer policing. We do not want policing to include murder. We truly want reparations. We truly want our community to have economic opportunity. We also want to be receipt shareholders so that if we're spending money with you as companies, we can see up and down the line that you are actually participating economically in our economy. And that is our community's economy. And in a way that is equitable to what we actually spend with you. So, there's lots for us to really look at as we move forward, Eddie.
Yes, sir. And just to add on to that, I mean, in terms of being able to see what these companies are spending with our community, we need to be more responsible with how we're spending our money and being more deliberate with the choices that we make when it comes to circulating our dollar within our community.
I think that has a big role to play, how we begin to manage our $1 trillion economy, how we
Yes.
really move. So, what are you seeing? Have you voted already?
Oh, yeah, I actually voted by mail, and the process was amazing. It kept us, I requested the ballot. I got an email letting me know when it was sent. Once I submitted my ballot at a drop box, I got an email telling me to letting me know that it was accepted and that my vote was cast. So, in this specific time, I really was not too keen on going to stand around a few people to cast my vote. So, the ability to do this via mail was a great experience. And I don't know if I would do it again like this, but for this specific time, it was a great option.
Yeah, I've seen several people. I literally went in 2 Wednesdays ago and voted early in Atlanta, Georgia. So on the ballot, we had our Morehouse brother, Warnock, running for Senate. Possibility of winning. There's just probably too many people might have a runoff.
Hmm.
Definitely, there
What
were
the
other individuals that we needed to get behind.
ain't on my shirt?
All right, now we can hear Melinda's audio. You coming online? Hey,
Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
so
Hey,
how is
Eddie.
the marketplace,
hey.
and how do you see the marketplace, and how are women and your classmates excited about Kamala Harris running for office?
Of course, of course. We're excited. This is major. We're in a time, an unprecedented time. Everything is seeing women at the forefront of this particular election is powerful, and we're all for it.
Eddie, do you think that women are in this moment rallying? Not only have they demanded, but when you see is what do you see as many brothers are really trying to align and make some decisions? What do we say to our brothers who are trying to figure out if they're going to support the Biden Harris campaign? What do you say to them, Eddie?
Um, I don't think that there's really a choice at this point. We need to support the ticket that is supporting us. We need to support the ticket that has our best interests in mind, clearly, in action and in deed. And we need to support the ticket that we can actually hold their feet to the fire and get what we are requesting, get what our demands are at this point. You know, again, if I hope you didn't wait this late to decide who you were going to vote for, but I hope you make the right decision tomorrow.
Melinda, what would you say to the young brothers who seem to be indecisive? There are some facts that we can't ignore. So we can't ignore the facts that the crime bill was not necessarily favorable to brothers at all. But what are you saying, Melinda, to those who are really trying to live in this moment?
I think right now, during the first election, when you had Warren and everybody on the ticket, that at that point it was time to fall in love. Now it's time to fall in line. It's time to step up. We know this man needs to come out of the office. So put all of this behind you Vote the Biden Harris ticket and let's move forward. The things that are happening right now, growing up in Mississippi, I would see the KKK coming down the street in the middle of the night. My grandmother with her shotgun on lock. We haven't lived through this a lot. A lot of people haven't lived through this, and now people, they ready. They come out and they don't care where they are. They don't care who they affect. They want to the Trump trains that's stopping, and I think in Philadelphia's five states that they've stopped the Biden Harris bus. That's illegal, and they continue to do things like this. So we got to put a stop to it. It's time right now to stand up.
Yeah, standing up is important. We see the movement and the community organizing. There were lots of individuals in the streets. Did you or anyone you know that voted early be sure that they know there's lots for them to do? There are lots of things that they can do. You can actually assist in helping steal phone bank. You can assist in actually getting and making sure that all of your friends in your phone are actually registered to vote. This is a hot moment for all of us. Do not rest. If you went out and voted early, still figure out how to participate right now at this moment. Get involved. Stay involved. Stay encouraged. Encourage others and be active. Participate. What are you going to do, Eddie? There's lots to happen, lots to be done since you
Well,
voted.
the tools are right at our fingertips, literally. So, if you're typing about somebody's relationship right now on Facebook, take a moment and tell them to vote. Hashtag vote. If you're on Twitter talking crazy about Rihanna or Beyonce and her new line, add the hashtag vote to that. Take a picture of yourself with your sticker that said vote and put that up too. It's all about voting and then voting for the right ticket. So make that happen. Use these tools like superpower tools.
Well, then what do you say to people who are working to figure out they've already voted, but now it's election day? What role and what activities are you recommending, and what are you doing to help support the ticket on election day?
Like you said earlier, phone banks people are still working those phone banks. Mask up, call around, give people rides to vote, have some Lysol in the car, but be there. Provide them with phone numbers. I know a number of churches around the Georgia area, and I'm sure all over the country are providing get out the vote activities and rides to the polls. Let's get out there and motivate your neighbors, motivate your cousins, your classmates, the people who never thought they could vote or never had the desire to vote. We need to encourage each and every one to get out tomorrow. And if they haven't already, get out and take care of this. Let's bring it home.
Get out and get in line. Get out and get involved. Get out and stay involved. This is a moment of history. I would just say, don't live in the past. This is a moment for all of us to live in the present and act in the present. I think
Sure.
if anybody, including Joe Biden, could change what he'd done in the past, a lot that all of us would revise about our history. But at this moment, we know that there are two clear, distinct individuals. There haven't been any black federal judges in the last 4 years appointed to the bench. That's intentional. And it was just kind of funny, Eddie. I thought about you when they said they got a platinum plan. And that sounded like it was made something just by a record exec, and you could hear him in the back room. Well, boss, just tell them it's a platinum. They like a little platinum, and they'll believe because they like the music that it's a platinum plan.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to go read it and see what value it has for you because it's interesting. I actually took some time to take a look at it, and I took some time to take a look at the plan offered by the Democrats. So again, this is a situation where we're just not going to fall for the okey doke um, and just falling for crumbs at the table. We need to affect change. We need to make this shift happen clearly and deliberately. So tomorrow y'all need to yell with these votes. Get focused. Make it count. Definitely. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I could say this till I'm blue in the face, but everybody knows how important this is. I mean, we right now live right now talking to you. Hopefully this is registering with someone who maybe was on the fence again to actually go out and do something that's gonna change the world at this point, because that's what we need.
I agree. Belinda?
That's exactly what we need. I think I posted the day we voted that I remember going to the polls with my grandmother, to the little community college there in Natchez, Mississippi. Stan, she would go behind this curtain, and I was so mesmerized by the whole process. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are we behind this curtain? And it was important for her to be there. It was important for her to take me. It was important for her to to lead by example, and that's what we have to do for generations. My daughter, for everyone that's coming up behind us, we have to lead by example, and don't discount your voice. Don't discount your vote. You have to vote. It's not an option not to.
Melinda, I'm so happy you shared that because my parents are immigrants from Haiti. So I
Mm.
remember going to the polls. Well, I remember when my mom got her citizenship. It was an amazing time. I mean, it was something to know that my parents came here from a whole nother country to take advantage of what this country has to offer, what many countries do not have to offer, and then take that extra step to become a citizen here and exercise that vote. That's what we are. That's what we're working with here. People understand the seriousness of that, the freedom of that. So yeah, definitely, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you. Vote, vote, vote.
Vote.
Well, I think the voting is one thing. I think the other is, you've got to remember, 100 million have already voted. So this is all about our community being active, organizing, gaining insight. So, just for those who don't know, if you go out and begin to learn now how to phone bank, you can use that for the person that you work for, your next door neighbor that runs for office, the state senator that runs for office. Every skill is transferable. So, everything that you learn to do during this moment of organizing, you will be able to transfer those skills to somebody else in your community when they run for office. That's why we want people to get involved so that they know how to expect, how to phone bank, how to organize phone banks. Here are the individuals that are running these programs and share how to go door to door. So it's really important for all of us, particularly in this moment, to be there for our community. Eddie, what's the plan?
Well, since you're talking about phone banking, I guess phone banking is the plan. That's what it is. Get on that. The phone bank. Walk
Right.
up, knock on the door, get some people to the polls who can't make it to the polls. All of that.
Hmm. That's the way we got
There
to
are
do it.
we got to do it. There are people who can't make it to the polls, so if you got a carpool
I
tomorrow,
think
make that
that
happen.
today there was a person who was 108 years old, and she got out there and voted. You have no excuse.
108. I can't believe that. That's amazing.
Well, I want to thank both of you for coming on tonight at a seat at the table. Eddie from Chicago, Melinda from Atlanta. We want to thank you so much. Everybody, look forward. This is obviously one of our new platforms at Rolling Out Television Network coming live to you. I am Munson Steed. We want to thank all of you for tuning in. We want you all to go out and get involved. If you've already voted, then go out and organize and support the community and help our community keep that energy high to go out and recognize the fact that we as a community can encourage our community members to vote. If you have not voted, go early. Definitely be ready, be prepared, study, and see your ballot in advance. You do not have to be in the streets, but you must be in the struggle. We'll see you tomorrow for a all night coverage from 6 to 12 here for a seat at the table. I'm Munson Steed, and we'll see you. Good night. Peace.